Hello, you're watching BBC World News. I'm James Menendez. Our top story this hour, building a coalition against so-called Islamic State. President Putin says Russia is ready to work closely with France and other countries to defeat Islamic extremists in Syria. A very warm welcome to the programme. Our other main stories this hour. 2 weeks after the Paris terror attacks, France prepares to hold a memorial honouring each of the 130 victims. An end to a week of lockdown in Brussels. Belgium's lowered its terror threat level, but the Prime Minister says an attack remains possible and likely.
Hello world, I'm Aaron Hazelhurst. Coming up in all the business, from tourism to tomatoes, Russia prepares to crack down on trade with Turkey. But the question is it in danger of doing more damage to its own economy? Plus, brace yourselves. Yep, it is Black Friday, the annual holiday shopping binge. So we're going to find out, has this, I hope not, has this become a global phenomenon?
Hello. Turkey's Prime Minister says he'll work with Russia to ease tensions after the shooting down of a Russian plane on Tuesday. Ahmet Davutoglu stressed that fighting the so-called Islamic State is his country's main priority, but he also insisted Turkey must protect its sovereign territory. Mr. Davutoglu's comments came as Russia agreed to work more closely with France to target the extremists of the Islamic State group in Syria. Ben Bland has more details.
Attempting to unite in the face of a common enemy, both France and Russia have suffered at the hands of so-called Islamic State, now working towards a large international coalition to target the militants.
We are happy to cooperate with the coalition headed by the US. We think that it's better to create one single coalition, and it will be easy to cooperate our work. And this is exactly what I meant when I spoke at the UN. But if our partners are not prepared for this, then okay, we are happy to work in a different format, in such a format that would be acceptable for our partners.
Such closer cooperation might avoid potential accidents in the crowded skies above Syria, where the US-led coalition and Russia have been carrying out separate bombing campaigns. The French president explained what he and Mr. Putin had discussed.
President Putin and I have agreed on 3 basic points. First, we will increase exchange of information and intelligence. The attacks against IS will be intensified and will be coordinated to increase their effectiveness, particularly attacks on the transport of oil.
Their third point of agreement, that only IS should be targeted and not other forces that are fighting the militants. It's something for which Russia has recently been criticised for allegedly also bombing moderate rebels who are anti-Assad but who are themselves trying to fight IS. Meanwhile, Britain continues with airstrikes against IS targets in Iraq. On Thursday, the British Prime Minister made the case for bombing IS targets in Syria as well.
The reason for acting is the very direct threat that ISIL poses to our country and to our way of life. ISIL have attacked Ankara, Beirut and of course Paris, as well as the likely blowing up of a Russian plane with 224 people on board. They've already taken the lives of British hostages and inspired the worst terrorist attack against British people since 7/7 on the beaches of Tunisia. And crucially, they have repeatedly tried to attack us right here in Britain.
But British politicians are divided on the issue. The Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has said he could not back RAF airstrikes on IS in Syria. When it comes to military action, building alliances at home or abroad is a delicate business. Ben Bland, BBC News.